Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. We have a lot of fun making them. It gives us an excuse to be out on the river, really. So Jake and I are out streamer fishing for trout out on the Manistee River this afternoon. It's mid-October. It's kind of a moody day. We got clouds, we got colors in the leaves, and we got a little bit of stain in the water. If you don't know me, my name's Matt. I'm the manager of the Northern Angler in Traverse City, Michigan. We're a small independent fly shop that really focuses on getting our customers confident and comfortable on the water or at the vise. If you're a Midwest angler, we really try and build this channel towards what you need to know. So think about hitting the subscribe button right down below there. It lets you know when we have new videos out. And after this video, if you liked what you heard, hit that thumbs up button. That helps other folks out there find our videos. All right, today I mentioned we're doing some streamer fishing. Jake has already got a nice fish, an 18, beautiful brown. I wanted to talk a little bit about choosing streamers depending on what conditions you're experiencing in the fall. You know, we had some rain last night that really changed things quickly, but there's some other factors we need to consider. So we're gonna break them down, keep this real simple. 3 factors. First of all is water temperature. Today it's right around 50, 55 degrees, which is really ideal for fall streamer fishing. As we get into November and into December, fishing can stay good, but if the water temperatures drop, fish become less active and they're less willing to come chase your flies. And we'll talk a little bit about what to do when that happens at the end. But the second thing to think about is the color of the water. I mentioned earlier we got some rain last night, which is really why we jumped on the phone and said, hey, we need to go tomorrow, because it's been super low water for us in the past few weeks, and any little bump in color in the water really can help. So we're going to talk about stain there in a little bit. The last thing we need to really consider is the amount of light we're getting. This morning was gorgeous. Let me tell you, we had fog and mist coming off the water. It was a little chilly, but it was bright sun. It was really tough conditions. Now we've got some clouds rolling in, the wind's going to start to pick up, and I think the fishing's going to get a lot better. We know it can be overwhelming choosing flies. We stock tons of them. We buy tons of them too. I mean, look at Jake's box. Really organized, right? So let's talk about the different factors you need to consider when buying flies. The first thing is how it's going to behave in the water. And that really has a lot to do with the head design. So this Kelly Gallup fly here has a really nicely cut deer hair head that's cupped, and it tends to swim in the water and almost glide. If you have questions about how a fly behaves in the water, ask us, ask your fly shop employees. That's their job, is to fish these flies, try them out, and recommend them for where you're headed. The second thing to think about is how much flash is in these flies. Some of these flies are all flash, like a sparkle minnow. This Barely Legal has a lot more flash blended into it than that last one I showed you, which can come in really handy on certain condition days. We're going to talk about some scenarios here in a minute. The last thing to think about is weight on a fly. Weight can be really, really essential getting your fly right down to fish. If you can't get your fly in front of fish, how are they going to see it? How are they going to eat it? There are times though when too much weight is a big problem. This tungsten cone today in our dirtier water, we got a little bit of depth here, can be really, really helpful. So think about how much weight is on those flies. Okay, we've talked about different types of flies. We've talked about different types of conditions. Let's put these together. We're going to talk about some really common scenarios we see in the fall in northern Michigan and how to choose the right flies for them. First off is low, clear water. We had this for the past few weeks in northern Michigan. We haven't had tons of rain. It's been really nice, actually. We've had some 60, 70 degree days, but it's been really, really tough fishing because of that. What most of us find really helpful when we have these low, clear water conditions is downsizing your fly. So maybe think about going from that giant articulated bug you've been throwing, that double deceiver, down to something like a woolly bugger or a sculpin size fly, something the size of a key, we like to say a lot. Minimize your flash. You don't need to scare these fish. They can see it. I mean, you don't need to send out this solar flare of a fly. They can see the fly, believe me. The last thing is, think about fishing something non-traditional, something like this wet skunk that has lots of rubber legs. We call these twitch bugs. They're really simple, they're silly looking, but they catch so many fish, it's not even funny. I have a whole box in my bag just of these. Okay, let's talk about the conditions we're seeing today on the water. Really typical fall conditions. It's really pretty. We've got that stained water. We got rain last night. We've got mixed clouds overhead. In these type of conditions, feel free to size up. Go to those articulated flies, but you need to have colors that these fish can see. Really natural flies like this straight olive sometimes are not going to do the job. Sometimes you have to go really to something bright like this chartreuse fly, or something like this bright yellow with a lot of flash. Flash for me really depends on the sunshine. If there's a bit of sun mixed in, I'll bump up my flash for stained water. And think about adding some weight too. We got to get down. If you know, earlier in the day we had flies that were only getting about 6-8 inches below the surface, and we weren't seeing but a few fish come up and look at them. It really made a difference when we started putting on flies with cones or lead dumbbell eyes and getting them down, dropping them off the shelves. One more scenario to talk about is when you have super dirty water. That's when we start to see really big, gnarly flies, and we even sometimes run a tandem system. That's right, it's a little crazy to cast, but sometimes you'll get this fly acting like the enticer, we'll call it, and fish will come up and see it, and they'll take this little bite right off the back that's less work to chase down. So think outside the box and really experiment with your streamer fishing. Change flies. This morning we changed flies probably 6 or 8 times before we found something that was working. So find a progression that works for you. Find a fly you like a lot and then get it in a bunch of different colors. That's really helpful. One last thing, when the nights really start to get cold, don't be in a rush to get to the water and fish something that jigs, and slow down your presentation. That up and down movement, especially dropping it right off this shelf to where those fish sit, can be deadly. Okay, we've talked about water conditions, we've talked about the temperature, the color of the water, and how much light we're getting. We've talked about the different types of flies, how they're going to behave in the water, how much flash is built into them, and how much weight you have on them. And we've gone through some basic scenarios that you're going to find on the water typical of a fall day in northern Michigan and the Midwest. We're going to get back fishing. I mean, look at these conditions. We want to go catch some more fish. So thanks for watching, everyone. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so, think about hitting that subscribe button down below. Again, it lets you know when we have new videos out. Think about hitting the like button. That really helps us out as well. We hope to see you all soon. Try streamer fishing, okay? Get out there, sling some bugs. Leave us some comments down below. We love hearing from you. If you found a fly that works for a certain situation, let us know. We'd love to know. I'm sure everyone would. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon on the water and in the shop.